Hello, welcome to Allen Baptist Church Daily Bible Study. We're still looking at characters of the Bible in an alphabetical order. We're at the letter M, and today, one of the most famous characters of the Bible, Moses. Now, most everybody knows something about Moses. Maybe not everybody, but anybody that's had any dealings with the Bible. Very famous guy. Uh, you could spend a lot of time talking about him, but from Exodus on through the rest of the Bible, even the New Testament, you'll find the name Moses. So to read everything that's said about Moses would take you a long time, but it'd be good to do it. But just some high points of what we know about Moses. We know he was born while the children of Israel, the beginning of the Jewish people, was there in the land of Goshen in Egypt, and he was born from in the midst of that. And we know that the story about the basket, how his mom and older sister protected him when Egypt was doing away with male babies so that they could cut down on the population of the Israelites, and we know that story, how he was hid in a basket and Pharaoh's daughter found him. We know how he was raised up in Pharaoh's household. We know that one day, because of his training, because his mom was his wet nurse and they'd worked that out, he had this basic training of who he was as a Hebrew. And when he, at one point, when he saw a Hebrew being beaten, he killed an Egyptian. That caused him to have to go off into the wilderness and to escape away. There's the burning bush experience there that you can go read about, how he encountered God there in the wilderness. God gave him this assignment with his brother Aaron and his sister Miriam to go and to lead the people of Israel away from bondage in Egypt back to the promised land in Canaan. And so that's the great Exodus. We know that they camped around Mount Sinai, and Moses went up and he meets with God. God gives him the 10 Commandments, indeed all the law. So Moses is called the lawgiver. And we know that they went on from there to go into the promised land, and they had to they didn't have the faith or the belief in what God said to immediately go in. So Moses leads them through the wilderness wandering, and that over a period of time, 40 years, but he doesn't get to lead them into the promised land. So that's just an overview. There's many other stories in the life of Moses. But I want to go to the New Testament. One thing it says about Moses, that how was he able to do so many things as a leader for God during his lifetime. In Hebrews chapter 11, starting in verse 23, I think we find out how. It says, "By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hidden for 3 months by his parents because they saw he was a beautiful child, and they were not afraid of the king's edict. By faith, Moses, when he had grown up, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to endure ill treatment with the people of God than to enjoy the passing pleasures of sin, considering the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures of Egypt, for he was looking to the reward. By faith he left Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is unseen. By faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of the blood, so that he who destroyed the firstborn would not touch them. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as though they were passing through dry land, and the Egyptians, when they attempted it, were drowned." You hear over and over again the writer of Hebrews, under inspiration of the Holy Spirit, saying that the way Moses was able to carry out and do what he did in his life was by faith. Faith in God. I think that's a good example to us that if we want our lives to count for something, if we want to have impact on the kingdom's work in this world, we do so by faith, because faith is absolute trust in God. I hope you have absolute trust in God today. God bless you.